What's up, people? It's Mike, back at Bird's Eye Bourbon. I'm sick. Yep, I contracted something on the plane ride back from Louisville. I don't know if it happened in the Louisville, the Phoenix leg, or the Phoenix to Oakland leg, but I'm not feeling well, and it's not gonna slow me down because I got that.
I got granddaddy's cough medicine. Gonna make me feel better about tomorrow. I guarantee you. Look down there.
All right. Shout out to Brutally Honest Bourbon. Brandon, that's my guy. Cheers, y'all. If you want to see a full review of that product, check out my latest Mail Call Monday reel, either on Instagram or here on YouTube. It's outstanding, a tremendous value. The best shelfer you're gonna find. Okay, cheers. So, like a lot of videos, I want to talk to you real quick about what you're about to see. I've been studying videography a bit and trying to improve the production value of my videos. I tried to employ some of those techniques. You'll see with mixed results. Some of the shots are overexposed, underexposed. But I'll tell you, it's really difficult to get quality footage while trying to maintain pace with a group and also trying to stay engaged, right, and present and enjoying myself. That's why I went, right, for the experience. I hope you appreciate the video. There's some interesting bits I talk about, or not me, but the guy will talk about Warehouse X. That's one of the experimental warehouses that Buffie Trace built, and they're doing some really cool things there. There will be no haul at the end because I didn't get any bourbon. After the barrel pick process concluded, we all went to the gift shop. And that's where David Jennings got mobbed, and he was invited out to the parking lot to enjoy some pours. We all went along. As you'll see in the video, I got to try a donut, split label, cheesy gold, I believe. Yeah, and out of respect for everyone present, I didn't shoot any video and only took one photo. I didn't want to be conspicuous or disrespectful. And by the time I got back to the gift shop, they were closed. They were selling E.H. Taylor small batch. I got plenty of that, so I wasn't really disappointed, but I could have got E.H. Taylor small batch for 60 bucks. It's a great price if you can get it. Appreciate y'all watching the video. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. I got a batch of videos in the pipeline from the Kentucky trip. This one's pretty good. I'm more or less pleased with the outcome and the finished product. I hope y'all are too. Love you. See y'all next time. Cheers.
So we rebranded ourselves in 1999. We went back to those original maps from 1773 to call ourselves Buffie Trace. You won't see Buffalo here today. That's where the name came from. Two of those surveyors love this property so much, they petitioned Virginia to be deeded the property. They were the Lees brothers, and today it's still known as the Leestown Settlement. It's one of the first settlements north of the Kentucky River. And if you read history, one of the first things you did when you built you a settlement was you built you a steel. It was about putting it in bottles and selling it at liquor stores and moonshine. It's self-consumption. Every farm had a still. Every settlement had a still. We weren't doing anything here everybody else wasn't doing. We just know that they were doing it here also, but we can't prove that, so we use the date 1786. If you really want to know why 1786 is Leestown became really well known to the people that did explore the Wild Wild West. If you could get to Leestown, you could resupply yourself. So those explorers would leave the East Coast, they would get here, they'd buy all the stuff they needed to venture on out west, alcohol being one of those products, and then they would head on out there. So we have receipts that go back to 1786. The Rue stayed a small distillery though until about the year 1869. 1869 comes along and a gentleman by the name of E.H. Taylor Jr. buys this place. He has a completely different business plan. I'm sitting on the Kentucky River, I can get my product to the Ohio River, get it to the Mississippi River, and get it to New Orleans. If I can get it to New Orleans, I can sell it anywhere in the world. I want to build this industrial sized distillery. So he buys this place for $6,000 and then he invests a little over $70,000 to build this massive distillery. That's a lot of money back in 1869. Today, we're finishing up a $1.2 billion expansion. And what that kind of looks like for us is we used to have 3 15,000-gallon pressure cookers. We pulled those out, we installed 4 20,000-gallon pressure cookers. Our fermentation tanks are some of the biggest in the industry. They're 93,000 gallons. We had 12 of them. Today we have 32. Our still is the biggest in the industry. It's 40 foot tall, 84 inches across. It's a 60,000 gallon capacity still. We built a second one right next to it that's equal to it in size.
What's the diameter on that thing?
84 inches.
Oh wow, 7 foot. Huh?
Yeah. So we now need more warehouse space. We have 17 warehouses on this main property. We're buying a couple farms where we're building warehouses. You may have seen some of those red buildings when you came down the hill. The warehouses that we were building on our farm are all the size of a football field. They're 100 yards long, 7 stories tall. They each hold 58,800 barrels. We are currently filling our 29th warehouse on the farm. 30, 31, 32, 33 are all being built. Our intent is to build and fill one of those warehouses every couple months. Then you guys slow down or catch up. Something's got to give. Actually, there's a whole formula. When you're dumping as many as you're filling, that's when you kind of.
We can pick more barrels today. Just go ahead and let you know.
It's all about dumping. So it's about coming in. So we'll talk a little bit about that as we go along. So each settler buys this place, he builds this massive distillery. He gets into the same situation we're in, where he needs warehouse space. So he builds this warehouse you're standing in, 1881. It's a 2-story building, doesn't have a lot of windows, doesn't get a really good airflow, just doesn't age product to our profile, so we don't use it for that. We repurpose this building into being our visitors' experience. But he went across the street, he built that one you all walk by on the way up the hill, 1885. What's cool about that one is there has never been a day since we rolled that first barrel in 1885. There's never been one day we weren't aging barrels in that warehouse, to include Prohibition. So the federal government creates a law, says you can't make it, you can't buy it, you can't sell it. Left off a couple of key things. You can't have it, you can't drink it. So if you could figure out how to get it, you could drink it. There was nothing illegal about that. So one way to get it though is to get a doctor to write you a prescription. If you got a prescription, you got 1 pint, 100 proof, 2 refills. Every 10 days, you got to go back and get a refill. So you basically got a 30-day supply of 3 pints. There were over 6 million prescriptions written during Prohibition in the state of Kentucky alone. So we were one of a handful of distilleries that got licensed by the federal government to remain open to make medicine for all you sick folks. That's how we get to say we're the oldest continuous. And there's some of the bottles over here on this middle shelf towards the front, so that's what you would have got. So he buys this place, he builds this massive distillery, he calls it OFC for Old Fire Copper. He ends up selling to a guy by the name of George T. Stagg. They changed the name of the distillery to the George T. Stagg Company. It stayed that until 1999. We changed it to Buffie Trace. Now in 1897, the George T. Stagg Company hires a little 16-year-old boy that plays across the street. They bring him over as an office runner, just to run errands. This little boy gets over and says, I'm gonna learn everything about this business I can. 1921, he becomes the president of this place. His name was Albert Bland. Now think about that. You're now the president of a distillery. Oh, by the way, the federal government has outlawed that product. He did a great job of navigating Prohibition, the Great Depression, World War I, World War II. Didn't only keep the industry open, but made it thrive through those times. He gets all the credit in the world, as he should. But then when his wife built a big house up on top of this hill, you may have seen it when you came in, a big stone house that overlooks the property. That's where they lived until the day they died. He used to send warehouse workers down to his favorite warehouse, and he'd say, select me some 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old, whatever he wanted, and they'd bring him back samples. And he would try those samples, and he'd say, I like this barrel, bottle that barrel, bring it to me. They'd bottle that whole barrel up, they'd take it up there to him. He did these big dinner parties where he would invite family, friends. He would serve it for all the dinner guests, and then as they would leave, he would give them each a bottle of it. He worked here for 55 years. One last couple of years he was here, he hired a guy by the name of Elmer T. Lee. Elmer T. Lee comes to us as a World War II veteran, a chemical engineer, works his way around the distillery, becomes the president of the distillery. Then the 80s happened. If anybody knows anything about bourbon in the 80s, it died. Nobody was buying it. They went to Elmer and they said, Elmer, we have to do something to create a premium product. Elmer said, why don't we do what Albert used to do? Why don't we take a single barrel, we'll bottle it up, we'll call it Blanton's. And guys, Blanton's was the original single barrel. It's the very first time anybody had ever done that before. But it's not just blends. You can go to any distillery today, and every distillery is doing single barrel products. I like to say Albert was the one that invented, created, inspired. Elmer was definitely the one that put that into production. So some of the products you see back here, the oldest bottle we've got in there that we know of is this one here. It's about halfway back on this middle shelf. It's got kind of got the weathered label. That is an old charter from 1890s. These small little bottles would have been part of E.H. Taylor's late 1800s products, and then probably the municipal bottles right there in the middle would have been the next oldest. As you go along back through there, you're going to see a ton of Cesar Fry, a ton of Buffalo Trace. You sit in, no big deal. I saw all that downstairs. Guys, that's from the very first run of Buffalo Trace we ever did in 1999. And the very first run of Cesar Fry we did in 2005. So everything in there is kind of non-replaceable. You see a lot of the Pappy, a lot of traces right there on this middle shelf. I'll explain that to you here in just a second. So, pretty cool. Any questions about anything else you see in there?
Can we have some?
No. Where's that skeleton key?
So it wouldn't do you any, it wouldn't do you any good. Oh. The lock for this is actually back here. That would
just decorative. Oh,
just
okay.
decorative.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
So wouldn't do you any good.
That's cute. Yeah.
Plus all those lasers in there. I'm not for sure anybody here is flexible
yeah,
enough to get around those. So you all might think you are. I don't think anybody's got that flexibility.
Yeah.
So we'll head this way.
Maybe Ron.
You saw that?
From 42 to 53, another million, 53 to 61, 61 to 71, 71 to 81. You can see the trend about every 10 years. 81, it takes us to 2008, 27 years. Now we get back in 10 years, this last one we were able to do it under 5, this one's going to be closer to 20. Wow. Those bottles over there that I pointed out,
Yeah.
they sat in here for 27 years. So
Impressive. Yeah.
Wow.
not for sure they taste good, but they look good. Pretty cool.
You kind of glossed over the, because I'm just kind of curious, the ancient age naming, because you mentioned, being the Stag Distillery and the Taylor Distillery. So if you wouldn't mind kind of touch on people calling it ancient age.
That was the label of it. So it was called the Ancient Age Distillery. Yeah, but it was George T. Stagg and then Blanton's Distillery. So they were, depending on who you were. My grandfather worked here. He called it the Shinley Distillery because that's who signed his check.
Gotcha.
George T. Stagg had the sign out front. Blanton's had a label, had the water tower. Ancient Age had it. So depending on who you talk to, back in those days, they would just change the name of it by painting a new sign.
Yeah.
They never went
It was
down.
kind of all label based.
Legally, there was never anything done to change the name of it from the George T. Stagg Company until we did it in 92.
Gotcha.
So it was bought in 82, and that's when it really was kind of branded Ancient Age, but it was just painting over a sign and calling it whatever they wanted to call it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Pretty cool. We're gonna head back this way, guys.
What's happening?
We used this during Prohibition. After Prohibition, 1929,
Albert convinced Shinley to buy this place. Shinley said, the only way I'll buy it is if you'll build the biggest distillery in the United States. Albert agreed to it. So he builds those 12, they buy it in 29, 33 Prohibition ends. He builds those 12 open top 93,000 gallon fermenters that we saw a while ago. At that point, this became an empty facility. Shinley owned another label called George Dickel. So they moved the George Dickel Distillery from Louisville to here. This became the George Dickel Distillery. About 1940, we do an expansion where we put fermenters up there. We basically knock all this in, we fill it up. This is nothing but a concrete floor, place where we stored stuff. In 2016, we decided we're going to do a 2-story event center. As we started digging down, we started uncovering bricks, big slabs of copper, things you normally don't find underground. We stopped what we were doing. We called in the distillery archaeologist who came in and did this dig and was able to uncover. We knew exactly what it was. We just didn't realize it was all still intact underground. So he came in and we did this dig. We took the copper that E.H. Taylor, that we got out of his vats. It would have been the exact copper that E.H. Taylor would have used. We DNA tested it. We sourced it from the same company he got it from. We realized one of the tanks was the exact same kind of copper E.H. Taylor used. We got his 1800 recipe, and we're aging at 1885 warehouse that he built. So sometime in the future, you might see some stuff come out of here that.
Where the tornado was up here, is that right?
The tornado actually knocked off part of this wall over here and peeled the roof back, exposed the barrels, but we didn't lose a single barrel. So once we were able to come in here, we took it all, bottled it up. So is an E.H. Taylor Warehouse C Tornado Survivor.
Yeah.
$85 a bottle today on the secondary market. You guys know what it costs. Ridiculous. So, but what it did for us is it made us realize that we needed to do a little research on warehouses. So we built Warehouse X up on the hill. It's got 5 chambers in it. Each chamber, we're trying to test something a little different. Middle chamber, we've got opened up to the elements. Whatever happens, happens. One, we control sunlight. One, we control wind flow. One, we control humidity. One, we control temperature. So we got all 5 of those elements being controlled in each portion of that warehouse. See if we can figure out where certain flavors are coming from in different types of warehouses. Now we also did that single oak project where we went out to the cooperage and we marked trees, and when we built a barrel, every single stave came from that part of that tree. We did soil samples and did everything, how much wind it got, did everything we could about how many rings, what side of, what element it was aged in, all the things that we could think of. Did 192 different expressions. We're going to see at some point if we can take and build the perfect barrel, age it in the perfect environment, and see if we can create the perfect bourbon. It's called the Holy Grail of bourbon. We're probably about 20 years away from having what we want to be the perfect bourbon. And Mark Brown talks a lot about that. If you're ever interested, go out and do a search on the Holy Grail of bourbon, and he'll tell you all about. I think they've gone out and evaluated tasters in San Francisco and places and come up with like 81 different flavor notes that people are drawn to, and they're seeing if they can create those in a bourbon. So.
All right, people. We're on to the tasting. Here, I'll give you a look. All right, check it out. We got the Staggy Boys down there, and OWA up top. I'm gonna try. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Say what's up, Ron. Cheers. All right, so there's 3 samples here for the 107. A to me is more quintessential antique 107. B's smells like butterscotch on the nose. Yes, the B's got better viscosity, mouthfeel than A. A little more dark fruit. Yeah, maybe a bit of raisin.
Yeah, so you're getting a true experience here.
And vanilla, caramel, what you would expect, right? C, good color, right? Copper. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. C. C.
C is where everybody over
C.
here is leaning to.
Whoa. Yeah, the nose on C is.
To me, the finish on C is what really makes the thing.
This somewhat reminds me of what we had last night in a way. Yeah, like a baked good.
Like, I really like B. C just has that finish that just like kills me. I mean, if like, I wouldn't be like heartbroken if we went C is kind of really.
On the finish, really heavy cornmeal.
It just really goes on.
Yeah.
You got some floaters too, I guess. Yeah, there's plenty in there.
Are we moving to the stag?
It's
or are we,
barrel candy.
Yeah, guys, what are we doing with Weller? We good with it?
All right, so
Over here, we're kind of like, we're leaning
A's a
C.
bit off profile, very
A's
off
on
profile
taste.
for 107.
But B, I think
and
has the best palate. I think C has
Not as much complexity and flavor.
blind, we kind of blinded each other and C was kind of the winner when we blinded it. What did y'all think?
B has like a butterscotch quality to me.
I mean, like I said, I wouldn't be heartbroken with either one of them, but I think C has the stronger finish, and since they're already proofed down, we don't have to worry about losing that with like any kind of additional water. It just stands. I haven't had a Weller 107 cake with that long of a finish.
Now, I will tell you this. We don't chill.
Having some
it's not
discussion.
chill filter.
Okay.
Normally, it could be chill filter, but you can request it not be chill
Oh,
filter.
great.
Yeah,
Okay.
anything
So it's an
over
NCF
100 proof,
cake.
we don't chill filter if you request it.
That was a slow move. I like it. Everybody else, it's a chill filter or no chill. Now say it's a chill, right?
Well, are we good with C or is that?
What's the proof on these samples?
They'll all be 107.
What are they as they sit now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it.
So
Got it.
if you don't want any of these, you're good. You just won't pick anything. They'll send you 3 more samples in the mail to try.
Okay.
So on site, these are
Okay. Sample C seems to be the clear winner here. Good finish, viscosity, mouthfeel.
So
Anybody objective?
It's got a quality like a baked good. It's like a cookie
Good.
on the
How much
nose.
C is that?
sees it on the stag.
No, on the Weller. Weller is C.
Definitely the best. I said on the stag.
Oh, on
Yeah,
the
typical
on
Weller, sweet profile. Plus it's a weed and bourbon.
Sounds good.
There's a spice component. It's really nice. So everyone seems to like C. I'm probably gonna go with C. What do you think, Ron?
It's definitely C.
Ron says C. So it shall be.
It'll be C.
What do you think? Get C?
Yeah, it really was very butterscotchy. I really liked
B
it.
was butterscotch on the nose.
Yeah.
Right away. Yeah.
But C did have the longer finish and it just had a little bit more to it. That's why I was asking about the proof because it felt like it had not been proofed down, but it's nice that it had that kind of finish at 107.
So these have not been. The next 3 have not been proved, haven't been touched. You pulled them out. What you got is what you got. So, and that's the way you're going to get it. It's going to run through. It'll run through some paper filters to get the char out of it, but it won't be run through a chill filtering process. None of these will be if you request it. Anything over 100 proof, we can not chill filter.
So can I, because it's tag as well done?
Yeah, they won't chill filter it anyway.
Okay,
They
but
never
this
would.
one-
I mean-
this one,
Specifically.
this one, if you bought a 107 in the store, it's been chill filtered.
Okay, I did request.
You can
non-chill.
request it to not chill filter.
There's essentially no need to chill filter over 100 proof anyway, right? I mean,
We don't on a barrel select if you request it, but normal products, anytime we proof something down, we chill filter.
okay.
A lot of people don't like putting something in the refrigerator and it getting real cloudy.
Cloudy, yeah. But but higher proof stuff, that's not really an issue, right?
It still will it'll still gel in the refrigerator a little bit.
Yeah.
When it get cloudy, but yeah.
I better pull all my bourbon out of my refrigerator.
No, actually, just because it looks that way doesn't mean it's bad.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no.
Just because it
All the properties are still there.
just because it looks like that doesn't mean that it's not a good product.
Yeah.
I mean,
We moving on to the Stag?
yep.
All right. It's my favorite. All right. We got 3 samples again. Delta Echo Foxtrot. Let's see.
Absolutely.
Let's see what we got. Oh.
On some of them. So probably, and I don't know, but probably this one's set in one of those that's got a concrete.
What are you getting? Have you smelled D?
Yeah, things like that. Generally, that would be like.
With Stag, right? It's normally big red fruit.
It's gonna be a little bit tougher with stags.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, I'm not getting big red fruit on D.
Like, I was able to kind of weed out one of the Wellers quick, but these 3 are all 3 good. I mean, not the others weren't good, but this is tough.
I love the oak note on D. On the nose. Oh, that's great. It doesn't really transfer to the palate. Though. I'm getting a little caramel, light tobacco note on D. So David, how many Buffalo Trace picks have you done?
That's my first one.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yep. First Buffalo.
Congratulations.
Ask him how many wild turkey picks.
Oh, yeah. I think I know the answer to that one. There's the butterscotch again on E. Oh my God. E is a butterscotch bomb. God, that's such a sweet profile.
Which one?
E.
Yeah.
Nice bit of spice on the mid palate, like a toasted coconut. Yeah? What do you think, Ron? What you getting on E?
I think E is fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good. I haven't tried F though. Ooh, wait.
Are you on F?
So F combines a little bit of butterscotch and like a floral note.
So F reminds me like the same that we went through
Yeah.
with
B, right?
B and C. Like this, like you tried it yet?
Not yet, yeah. Just nosing
So
it.
try it.
Other ones, you want 3 of these?
Yeah, that smells like Werther's. F's the one. Oh, I don't know. Wait a minute. Maybe I'm not so sure.
I know, you really need to blind them.
Yeah, you know,
E and F are the
yeah,
are awesome.
E and F are the best too. Yeah, the finish on F kind of let me down a little bit.
You really need to blend them.
I'll blend it.
And when you walk in there, there's 40 of them.
All right.
And then they give you a menu that tells you like where.
I don't like it. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
It'll say warehouse D on the 5th floor. This one say warehouse, and it'll tell you. So you get a little bit more, and it's a menu, and you get to say, I want to try one from this warehouse and one from this warehouse, and you get to pick your 4. Once you pick your 4, then you lock in. You can't pick anywhere else. But when you lock those down, yeah, well, it's on the barrel.
I have a little water.
So
Wow.
you'll know more.
I think I like that one without even trying this
But
one.
when you do it, I won't tell you that this one is from their outside. What I'll do is scramble them up. So you don't know. So
What's
you're
like-
not, your mind's
like a
not-
maple oatmeal.
At the end, I'll tell you where it was.
Ugh.
So it's a pretty cool thing to do with Buffalo Trace, but it's just a different way of doing it.
Fortunate that Drew came over to our market.
They're too close. I can't make up my mind. E and F are just,
We're blinding them, yeah.
you know.
Don't tell me.
So the first one you gave me is my choice. The first one you gave me.
The first one I gave
Yeah.
you your choice?
Yeah.
I gave you E.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it's even.
Now, there's 7 people that go in and taste it. All 7 have to go first. It just has to be at least 5
Wow.
you can have to say yes on.
I just did an experiment here, and I blounded the two best stag selections. Yeah, looks like E's my favorite. F would be second for me, and then D is last. Although I think the finish on F is, maybe the finish on F is better. I don't know. What are the proofs on these guys, the stags?
Well, I'm guessing 130,
They're-
124, and 126.
I'm sweating.
I was thinking between 128 and 131.
So that one is F.
How often y'all see hazmat picks out of here?
Okay. B, or no, E.
I think frequent.
I mean, they're so close.
The thing about
It's like,
the thing about that is when you get something like that, a lot of times you get more, less product. So
Yeah.
Okay.
By far.
Yes.
It's all about yield, right?
so depends on what you want it for.
Yeah.
I would rather have 4 cases of something I love versus 6 cases.
Amen to that.
Say it one more time.
Said I would rather have 4 cases of something I love before I took 6 cases of something that was good.
All right, turn around.
Yeah.
Get your next one.
Yeah.
So to
Yeah.
me,
There you go.
it's not that yield. If I was selling it, I would feel different.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah. It depends on your mindset. Yeah.
These are closer than the Wellers.
Wait.
Craig, right?
Right.
Ryan, I'm sorry. So what do you think?
I chose E in a blind, but
Me too. I chose E in the blind. Yeah.
it's pretty.
I like the finish on F though. That's the problem.
So what you end up?
Mike, give me a.
First one is F.
You want a blind? All right.
It's like so tough.
That's
It's
not
kind
a
of like
bad way of doing
It's
it.
just like the finish.
yeah.
They're both fantastic.
All right.
Yeah. So where's everybody else at? Oh, y'all are still blind too, okay. Y'all do your blind thing, let me know.
All right, folks. We're blindfolding Ron over here. All right, Ron. No peeking.
I'm not looking.
No peeking, Ron. No peeking. There you go.
Ryan, look back.
I think my chesticle was in the way. It's all right.
This one.
That one? That's E. So Ron picks E, I picked E. So what's your favorite expression here? Like if you could have anything that Buffalo Trace produces, besides the highly allocated Pappy and the B-Tech, you're buying.
I'm buying
It's darker.
Yeah, but
probably something that I like, that I've got bottles at home that I would drink, would be Weller 12 or
Thank you, my man.
E.
That's my favorite
or
Weller.
E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof.
Yeah.
If you opened up your bar and said drink whatever you want, if you had a Double Eagle Very Rare in there,
Yeah.
it would be
Right.
the E.H. Taylor 4 grain.
Right.
Would be
Double Eagle Very Rare 25. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
I
that
would,
requires 2 birds to fall into the tank at the same time, right?
Yeah.
yes.
A very rare species
rare.
too. Yeah.
But no, my go-tos, they don't go to them because I don't have plenty of bottles of them, but if I was just gonna celebrate something, generally it's a Weller 12 or an E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof.
E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof is.
Are two
Cherry
of
bomb,
my
usually.
favorites. So.
Have you tried batch 13 yet?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, neither have I. Yeah.
Yeah. Weller 12 to me is like good for like just like a casual kind of sipper kind
Yeah.
of thing. I think it gets a little bit more height than it probably deserves, probably because of the whole lot B thing and all that. But the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, I've never had a bad one.
So
No, they're all
just
bangers,
To,
yeah.
to sit around and just sip on, I just don't know how you beat Buffalo Trace or even Eagle Rare at 27
Eagle Rare is
to
personal.
I mean,
$40.
you're looking at what, like an 8-year product for $30? Come here, especially if you can find a pick. I mean,
Right.
you're not beating that. I'm sorry, you're just not.
Eagle 12 is coming.
Are you gonna down?
Yeah.
Are you gonna?
No, I'm excited.
I am too. I am too.
You haven't tried it yet?
No. I don't know if there's any put in a bottle. I think it's been just the concept of
Shit, I'm gonna have some more of that.
getting a trademark and all that. So we're probably 6-8 months.
Yeah.
Or at least.
So what was the result of your blind?
We do it so fast. I don't know.
So
For you,
No, for you.
All I'm doing is building
I
another
prefer F.
expression within that eagle.
F? Okay.
Personally,
F's good too.
Eagle rare 15.
F has a good finish.
finish is fantastic.
Yeah.
Maybe 10 into the 12, 14. Yeah.
All right, guys, how we doing on the, are we ready to?
Well, I had a.
Anybody on D?
Well,
Okay.
no, I don't think so.
I think that was a high
I,
proof, but
I think it's a unanimous no on D, right?
Okay. Guys, D, no?
D, no.
Fellas, unanimous no on D, right?
Right,
Yeah.
We're looking at E, F, F.
right. I mean, I'm fine with either E or F. I mean, I'm leaning F, but you know, E's great too.
Why are you leaning F?
To me, F has the better nose and the better finish. I think
The better
E
finish, for
has
sure.
The better palate.
I agree with that.
So,
But the one-off type of bourbon is E rather than F.
oh no.
Maybe not. All right.
I mean, I did it blind. I came up with F. You know, when I did that.
There's not a ton of stag just sitting out there for people to buy though, so like, most of it is one-off.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that off-profile necessarily, for me, means a ton, because it's not like I can just walk into many stores and grab those bottles.
Right.
You know?
Without pulling out your
Sure.
life savings.
See,
Well, let's go down. Where are you at? Well, I'm sorry. Where are you at, Alfredo?
I like it.
So I picked E, but I like the finish on F.
What you got?
Tell me what you
They
got.
still working on it.
working on it.
So I proofed them way down,
Okay.
and it's still tough.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know.
Yeah. Raymond,
But
what
I
you
get
think?
my choice is both.
Both. Just buy both, Gip. There. Buy E and
That's
F.
so close.
What do you-
E and F. I
Yeah,
don't know.
you're very close.
I can't.
Gip's not laughing. He's like, hey man, quit spending my money, bro.
That's so good.
Gibby, this is your call, man.
No, let's see.
You know, you're cutting the check.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're gonna get your money back out of them, aren't you?
Either way,
yes.
They're fantastic.
Yeah,
Are-
both are fantastic.
Have you picked them up? Are they very similar weight size? I mean, like, I don't know.
Look like both is
They're both pretty full. Like,
So let's see, give me which one you got. You got
Here, let.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Hold on. I picked up some heavy stuff in my time. All right, let's see. Yeah, about the same.
about the same.
About the same.
They're the same age.
They're the same age, yeah.
We don't know the proof, but probably similar.
Were they 9 years?
8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
8 years.
All right, so there's a strong debate happening. Oh, look, I got a little barrel candy in there. Look at that. Beautiful.
Yeah. The palate is better on E, for sure. I think the finish is longer on the F. I do like the nose a little bit better on the F, but I mean, it's splitting hairs.
If you like a sweeter profile, E is the one.
1, 2, 3, you got 3 F and
I'm staying with E.
Raise a hand for F.
F.
I'm at F.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Well, then
Let's
that's
go
it.
for that.
You sure?
Yeah. It's 5-3.
Wait, the E guys.
Death match, we can,
Sorry.
Can we swim in the barrel somehow?
Yeah.
Now, either of them are very good.
They're both great.
You're not gonna be,
Yeah.
you won't be sad
I'm
about
gonna buy a bottle of whatever, you know, if it's E or F, I'm still buying a bottle.
If it is,
All right.
I just feel like F just has a little bit more too, just going back and forth.
It's fantastic.
Even Weller was like,
You okay, man?
Yeah,
You got heartbroken?
No,
Okay.
Very, very tough. I'd
That's
rather
tough.
be in that position.
Well, you're an E guy, right?
I like to.
Yeah, I like E too.
sign your 2 barrels. They've got the stickers on them, C and F. Is a lot of times when people pick this barrel, the D, you know, then they
Oh, yeah. The D.
You said an empty glass?
Yeah, we're gonna change the Weller barrel strength.
Weller and barrel stringer. Thank you. Oh, nope, sorry.
coming out of yours.
Observe.
I've already given them a bottle.
Sorry,
Look,
sorry.
There's
I've already given them a bottle.
we got particulate in there. We call it barrel candy. Look at that. So this is straight from the barrel. It's the Weller pick.
A year or two ago, he talks about getting to try it straight out of the
Cheers, y'all.
truck
Appreciate
after
you
they
joining
did
me.
the pick, and it's so good.
Right, that's what we had last night.
Hey, cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Thank you, Gippy.
Cheers. Salute.
This is the one we had last night.
So is that pretty good? Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers, brother. All right now. Come on, Ron.
That's a kick-ass.
This is a little bit more needed or less per minute.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
So it's probably gonna be
Yeah.
somewhere around
Appreciate y'all joining me, man.
117.
Really good.
What's that, Reese? Yep.
I haven't signed this one.
Yep.
Anybody want to drive these bums in? If not, I will. Thank you. So.
Let's do it. I'll do one.
Yeah.
You angry.
Man, I didn't know you had it in you, Dave. Come on, get. Yeah.
Good job. Anybody else?
I'll do it. Here.
That's fun.
One blow. No, I'm kidding.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Let's go.
Whoa, yeah. Whoa, yeah.
Wake up the neighbors. Yeah.
We're gonna get a picture of you guys. Okay, there you go. I got several, so surely you got a good one. You do get to take the glass with you. This has to be empty when it leaves you. So if you want to take one of those glasses, feel free to take one.
No pressure me.
No
No pressure me.
So you would ask, is it okay to drink this with the char in there? Of course it is. The wood's inert.
Golf clubs, anything like that.
Yeah, pass right through your system.
We do have some golf clubs.
Like everything else you drink.
If you're interested in a putter, very, very
I
nice.
think that's going to conclude the pick.
We don't have a steady camera. We have
So,
a.
See y'all next time.
Bet an art.
Cheers.
You better buy one of those shirts.